Imagine a town frozen in time. In a remote part of South Africa lies Orania, a small isolated community where some say apartheid lives on.
Orania is a whites-only town. Black people cannot live or work here. Every job is reserved for the whites.
Do I believe that Orania is racist? Of course. Those are the bad things, but there's also good things happening in Orania.
If you want to live in Orania, you have to meet certain requirements. The first and most important is you have to be a white Afrikaner. You also need to be a Calvinist Christian, have a clean criminal record, and speak Afrikaans-only within the enclave. Orania is a relatively small community of about 3,000 people, but they have big ambitions and are growing fast. They have their own local government, currency, flag, college, farms, a bank, and their own rules. Critics call them racists, but supporters say it's a place for cultural preservation and self-determination. This has sparked heated debates about Orania's place in modern-day South Africa. I want to find...
Are black people allowed in Orania?
Yes, there's no race criterion to access to Orania. At the same time, while the answer is yes, Orania is also a focused Afrikaner community. And there's a very spontaneous reason why for 30 years black people haven't come to live in Orania. They are just historically not Afrikaners. They are not interested in the same things, and they don't participate in this cultural community, as there are very, very few, if any, white people in rural isiXhosa or isiZulu communities, which are all over South Africa.
So we agree that being Afrikaner is not just your race, right?
Absolutely.
So if you and your wife had adopted a black child, and you raised this black child as an Afrikaner from eendag till he's 21. Technically, is that kid not Afrikaans? Because you said you speak about culture.
Yeah.
Culturally, he should be Afrikaans. Would he be welcome into the town?
Hypothetically, it is exactly true, and hypothetically, yes. But we need to address that question when we meet it concretely. Okay. So the reality is the test.
So I made it to Orania. I don't know how many of you have heard about this town. It's a town within South Africa, around the northern Cape of South Africa. And this is the town that, online it's very controversial because to the people online, it's a whites-only town. But after coming in here, it's rather an Afrikaner-only town. But why is it only Afrikaner though?
Orania is a effort to preserve our culture, our heritage, our religion, to create a space for us here in the Karoo. So we've built the town here, we have created infrastructure here, we've done it all of our own money, using nothing from the government, getting no grants, no subsidies, not a cent from the government. So we are trying to build a place for our people to preserve our language and our culture.
This is hilarious. Somebody from Orania has voted for the EFF during South Africa's national election. I could not stop laughing when I saw this. In case you didn't know, Orania is a whites-only town in South Africa, and it was revealed on social media today that one resident decided to vote for Julius Malema and the EFF. I'm not sure if the person did this as a joke or what, but the irony is ridiculous. That voter is going to be hunted down and chased away. Lie detector tests will be whipped out tomorrow. They are finding that one person and booting them out. This must be the bravest man in South Africa.
Hundreds of EFF members marching, calling Orania a blight on the province that should not be allowed to continue. The EFF claims Orania's existence is against the constitution and demands various investigations and reviews against Orania.
We must respect the law of this country. So we'll go to different courts of this country and demand this matter be taken into consideration. It must be heard in court if that's the push. But we don't want to go that route yet. We are saying let there be political engagement, let there be a political decision.
The Freedom Front Plus say they will welcome any investigation into Orania, as it will prove the Volksstaat operates without public funding.
A community is not something that you dissolve or that you stop being by a decree or something. You can do that with an organization. You can outlaw an organization, but the community is just there. And it's not really possible to dissolve it by legislation or by decree or whatever. So we could traverse a road of confrontation, or we could see how we complement each other in a post-apartheid South Africa. I could also say a post-colonial Africa, and what role Afrikaners and especially Orania has to play in that, because I think that is what's important.
The EFF has given the provincial government 30 days to comply with their demands.
Premier will work through the memorandum, and then we are going to give them the responses as they requested in 30 days. At this point in time, I think the best thing for us to do now is to make sure we start and give them the right information. I cannot now off the cuff say we are going to do this or that, because you must remember that we are in a constitutional democracy here. So there are rights and there are privileges that we must protect in the constitution.
The ANC in the province is currently in a coalition with the EFF Plus after it failed to get an outright majority in last year's elections. Part of that deal was that the provincial government will reposition Orania. Ulrich Hendricks, SABC News, Kimberley, Northern Cape.
Orania claims to be a self-sufficient Afrikaner utopia. But let's be honest, these people are just pretending to be independent. First of all, they beg for online donations like a broke influencer. If you go to the Afrikaner Foundation's website, you'll see them running a GoFundMe for Orania. Ernest Roots is literally flying overseas, desperately begging racist Trump supporters and other white supremacists in Europe to fund their apartheid dreams. Orania built a tiny solar farm, which only produces enough electricity to power less than half of the town. When their solar panels stop working at night, they still require electricity from Eskom. Their precious Ora currency is nothing but monopoly money pegged to the South African rand. The very same rand that is stabilized by a black government. If the South African Reserve Bank collapses, so does their fake economy. But sure, tell me again how independent you are. Their pecan farms are irrigated by our national river, and they transport their products using roads that were built by black taxpayer money, just so they can sell their nuts to China. Why are you selling to China? I thought you guys hated communist governments. Even the laws that protect them come from the same black democracy they are trying to run away from. The only reason Orania still exists is because their rights are protected by the constitution. Imagine claiming to be independent while begging foreign countries for donations, buying electricity from Eskom, watering your trees with a national river that you don't own, and selling your products using roads that you didn't build. If Orania really wants to prove itself, stop buying electricity from Eskom. Mint a currency that's not backed by the black South African economy. They can even use Bitcoin if they want. Stop using our roads and stop using our water. Irrigate your desert with your own tears. But they won't do any of this because deep down they know, without black South Africa's economy, legal system, and infrastructure, Orania would collapse within a month. And here's the funniest part. Afrikaner self-reliance has always been a lie, even during apartheid. They needed massive government subsidies and cheap black labor just to survive. Orania is living proof just how much white people still depend on us to survive. It's a glorified Disneyland for racist white people who miss apartheid. Orania is a place where they can pretend to be independent.
Yeah, South Africans, we are here in Orania. We come from the Eastern Cape, whereby we want to see Orania. And really, I got a chance to go inside on that town. Now, the time when I'm standing here comes an African brother, South African citizen. Now, when he see Hands of Orania, he asked me why Hands of Orania. I told her that, my brother, you know what? This leadership, the president of political parties, they want South Africa to be separated. These people that are living here as the white people of Orania, they build their own future for our children. Why can't our black people, or maybe our black leaders in parliament, they can't build this same thing like this, that our people, they can go there and live without any crime, without any corruption, without anything. Now, my brother, can you say something?
Yeah, no, that's a real fact. That's why I took all all the way from George to here to see, wanted to see what's it all about Orania. That's why I take this decision to come around today and have a look and browse out about the Orania issue, because it looks like it's a very rich township.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. You see, he come from George. He came here. Now, my brother, I want to tell you that the EFF, they have posted some of the posters that they are coming to attack these people, but now they've changed that they are going in Kimberley in the Premier's office, that they're going to hand over their memorandum to the Premier of Northern Cape in Kimberley. Now, I'm asking this question: why we must be, as South Africans, our majority black people, every time we follow the stupid president that they want to separate us? Remember, our first president, Nelson Mandela, he said to us, we must be together, all races. But now we have been separated by so-called our politicians. South Africans, let me tell you, I will fight for our country. I will fight for everyone here as an activist here in South Africa. Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Orania presents itself as a model of peace and progress. And yes, it's impressive what a small group of just 3,000 people have built. Their reasoning around safety and security can't justify the creation of a whites-only, Afrikaner-only enclave in a democratic South Africa. Having their own currency, their own rules, and shutting out the rest of the country feels like a rejection of unity, and a painful reminder of apartheid. It's not just divisive, it's harmful to the very idea of the rainbow nation we were promised. It risks reinforcing the divisions of our painful past, excluding the rightful owners of this land and echoing the ideologies of apartheid that so many fought to dismantle.